It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. This is a quote from Epictetus, one of the ancient Greek Stoic philosophers. And I wanted to make a video about ego death and surrendering to yourself, stepping into new things. It's extremely uncomfortable. And I know for me in my life, I've carried around this ego, this high ego mindset of thinking, you know, I'm really good at this, I'm really good at that. And it's like this fake confidence almost. And it's really just, you know, this delusional self-belief, which I think is good. Like, having a delusional self-belief is good. But the surrendering part, like the ego, if you prove the ego wrong, you know, it's a painful process. There's resistance there. So for example, you know, I've been wanting to start social media for a long time, of making a YouTube channel, starting to record stuff. And in my head, I was playing this story of like, oh yeah, I think I could be good at that. But there was so much resistance to me actually starting, because I knew it was going to be difficult. And I knew I was going to be bad at it, actually. And it was going to take a lot of effort to get good. And that actually prevented me from starting, because it was a narrative that went against my ego, which is I'm supposed to be good at the things that I do, right? This delusional self-belief. And in order to start something new, you've got to be able to surrender. You know, there's another quote. It's like, in order to be great at something, you must first be good. In order to be good at something, you must first be bad. And in order to be bad, you have to try. So there's this process that we all have to go through in order to become great at something. And it doesn't even matter what it is. It could be starting a business, losing weight, having a body transformation, learning a new instrument, learning a new language, starting social media, you know, dating, whatever it is. Like, you've got to step into the ring and try. You got to throw some punches, you know. You got to try, and you're going to quickly find out that it's actually very difficult. Not impossible. You know, don't think things are impossible. I think anyone can do anything, but there's definitely a price to pay. It's going to be difficult. But I do believe that anyone can do anything. And when it comes to starting something new, you do have to surrender your ego. You have to lay it down and allow yourself and give yourself the space and the time and the grace to be bad at something before you can be good. And there's so much resistance, at least for me, I'll speak for myself. There's so much resistance when it comes to starting new things, doing new things, thinking new ways, because in a way, it invalidates your identity, you know? For me, starting social media was extremely difficult. It was very difficult because my identity, if you don't know my story, I used to be a software engineer. I mean, I still am a software engineer. I just got laid off from my job, and now I'm deciding to build my own company. I'm building a dating platform. It's called Affection. You've got to surrender your ego. You got to surrender it. And for me, it was very hard to start social media because my identity told me that I was a software engineer. My identity told me that I don't know how to talk to the camera. I don't know how to film. I don't know how to edit and all these things. And I had to challenge my identity by taking an action and saying, I'm going to press record on this camera. I'm going to download some editing software, and I'm going to figure out how to use it. And in the moment, it feels very uncomfortable. And once you take multiple actions, you start rewiring your identity to be like, okay, maybe I can do this. The actions that you take kind of reinforce whatever it is you're trying to do. And there is a very painful process in the beginning of starting anything, because you're just not going to be good at it. It's going to be very discouraging. Like for me, starting to play piano, I'm just so bad at it. You know, it's such a difficult thing to do. It's especially if you're not a kid, because you know, kids, I don't know the exact psychology on it, or I guess neuroscience, but they learn extremely quickly. And I'm not a kid anymore, And sitting down to learn how to play piano as an adult is challenging. I feel like every time I sit down, I get beat up because it's like, shoot, this is difficult. But you got to push through that pain, and eventually you start taking action after action after action, and it rewires your identity. It's like, I can do this. And every single little win starts to compound and reinforce this new identity of, I'm learning how to play piano. I'm getting better at learning how to play piano. I'm learning how this social media stuff works. I'm getting better at making videos and articulating my thoughts and speaking and figuring out where my place is in this online world. You've got to be able to push through that initial pain, that initial resistance at the beginning. And it does get easier over time, but you've got to surrender your ego. So Harry Crosby, the poet, said, "Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go." And what that means is you've got to step into discomfort. You've got to step into things maybe you didn't think were possible or that you were capable of doing. In a way, you have to take actions against your own identity, your own self-belief, your own ego to find out what you're truly made of. And for those that kind of step out into the unknown, they do find out what they're made of. They do find out what they're capable of. They do end up succeeding as long as they don't quit. For everyone, it takes a different amount of time depending on what it is you're trying to do. But as long as you don't quit, you will eventually succeed. I kind of think of it like going to the grocery store. You grab something off the shelf and you stand in line and you wait to get to the checkout. And that's like learning new things or getting good at stuff. It's like your time will come to go up to the cashier or the self-checkout, pay for your item, and leave the store. Your time will come. You got to stay in that line. You see everyone else acquiring their things. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get it. That just means that your time is coming. It's not yet now, but you're in line and you're advancing forward towards checkout. So, don't get discouraged when you try something new, and keep trying new things, because that's how you're going to grow and evolve as a person. Chances are you're probably just not going to be good at something the first time you try. And you've got to be willing to surrender your ego and kind of die to yourself. Die to your self-belief and be like, I'm going to do this. And I know I'm not very good at it right now, but I'm going to figure it out. And let that rewire your identity, and keep taking actions to rewire that identity and basically increase your capacity, become a more well-rounded person, learn new things, and be able to accomplish more. So thank you for listening. Those are my thoughts on surrendering your ego death, and trying new things and pushing through that initial discomfort that everyone feels, by the way. Everyone feels this. Everyone goes through this phase. So don't be discouraged. And chances are high that you're probably thinking of something in your head right now of something that you've been thinking about for a long time that you want to do or that you want to try. Don't be afraid. It is okay to be afraid, but don't let fear rule you. Fear is a normal human emotion. Everyone has fear. But don't allow that fear to kind of dictate whether or not you try, whether you step into a bigger life, whatever it is you're trying to do. So those are my thoughts. Thank you for listening. And I hope this kind of triggered you to think about some of these things and perhaps even encourage you to start something new. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.